All right, guys. Well, welcome back. Happy April 9th, Wednesday, April 9th. We're in for another edition of our Off the 56 Home Team Live edition here. So if you guys have questions for me or for Miss Courtney here, we'll be happy to answer them about the San Diego housing market or anything in between.
Local happenings.
Things going on in San Diego, which we have a few things. It was kind of a slow news week besides all of the craziness as far as like new developments and restaurants.
Slower.
But as far as the world ending, a few things to talk
about.
The
world at large, there's definitely things going on.
So today I'll talk a little bit about the happenings, but then we'll get kind of into what's going on in the real estate market and just the world a little bit. So, and how that'll affect us here in San Diego, as well as the housing market.
You got some charts and graphs?
I got some charts and graphs. We also have the recent housing stats from March that just came out, I think, yesterday. So we'll dive into a little bit, see what neighborhoods are going up, which ones are going down, which ones are kind of remaining steady.
Hanging put, staying put.
And let us know if you can hear us in the comments, because I often have technical difficulties.
And I feel like 2 seconds.
And Courtney is no help with technical difficulties.
Broke this microphone, was falling apart.
And she broke my microphone.
I broke the microphone, so hopefully it's working.
Okay, so we'll get into some information here. And then, like I said, put your questions in the chat and we'll get to those hopefully by the end of this one. Ronnie B is saying he can hear us loud and clear. So thank you, Ronnie. It's always good to hear you. I think I saw you driving the other day, and he's a very bright colored Jeep. So he's very easy to spot on the road. So appreciate that, Ronnie. Okay, so let's get into some local happenings here in San Diego. There were a few notable things that I'm sure people are going to be curious about once I figure out how to share our screen.
I have to warn everyone, my seasonal allergies are kicking my butt today. I should have brought a box of tissues. Typically every year I don't really struggle. Sorry, I was just trying to buy you time while you're ready. You're ready. I was just saying my allergies are not usually that bad.
Anybody else's allergies?
Living in San Diego has been much better than the East Coast springtime.
We have pollen, just not as much as other places.
Today.
Okay, so this is a restaurant I had not heard about, but it's opening here in San Diego right near Balboa Park, which is called John and Vinny's Italian Restaurant. It's LA based, but they're opening their first location here in San Diego. I've heard from other people that it's very good, but I have not tried it. So if you've tried John and Vinny's, let me know.
Looks like someplace that you would enjoy because it's got
pizza, pizza, and
it has pizza and pasta.
Anything with pasta sauce, really, I will eat on a regular basis. But that supposedly is pretty good. We're going to go quickly through these and try to get into more of the real estate stuff here soon. Chicken Hawk, if you're familiar with this one, this is going to be opened by Tony Hawk and Andrew Bachelier, who is a local PQ resident.
Impressive. Very cool for them. This has sort of been about 4 years in the making, and this will be Encinitas opening in June.
So this has been kind of in the making for like many years, and I guess there was a little bit delays with COVID and all that good stuff. So I posted about this on our Instagram page yesterday, I think. And people were pretty excited.
People are really excited.
People love fried chicken sandwiches.
Do you think this is the same or very similar to Crack Shack?
It sounds similar. I'm sure they'll have
same
their own
sort
spin
of
on it.
Sure.
I mean, it's fried chicken sandwiches, so they are what they are. But people seem to be pretty excited about it. And I heard he might even be opening a restaurant at the San Diego airport. Or
interesting.
Partnership with a restaurant in San Diego Airport, but I'm not sure which one it is. So
San Diego Airport, it's going to be nice.
So let us know if you're excited about that one, because I love a good new restaurant. I think that's kind of our restaurant news for the week.
That's it. Usually we have a lot more to talk about.
So I just posted a reel on this on our Instagram page. So if you are familiar with the Merge 56 project, which we are sitting outside of it right now, so where our office is, this was supposed to be kind of like a mini One Paseo plan for like the last 10 years. People have been talking about it. It was originally going to be like a movie theater, grocery store, restaurants, that sort of thing. Then that changed in 2020 when COVID happened. Then Alexandria came in and bought it. And then it was supposed to be like boutique hotel, biotech buildings, some fast casual restaurants, coffee shops, that sort of thing. Now that project seemed to have changed once again, which I just posted a reel on this one.
Much to the chagrin of our neighbors here, who have all been waiting really patiently for some walkable amenities. And now they are saying that it
is
not.
Well, it's possible. So it's been changed to housing now is the zoning, or they asked to get it changed to housing. So it will likely be some sort of housing development with possible mixed use.
All right.
So you might still have a chance to get some, sort of like this road. I mean, I'm pointing at this road. You guys can't see it, but right in front of it where we're staring at where the Merge 56 is supposed to be. And it will likely be some sort of housing with possible mixed use on the ground.
So is this going to be like a shopkeeper style townhouse?
It depends on who buys it. They haven't sold the land yet. So it's likely going to be KB Homes, Lennar Homes, or Shea Homes, or California West, one of the bigger home builders that we have in San Diego.
Sure.
We only have like 5 big builders here, and they're all pretty much just spin a wheel and see which one it's going to be. So.
And I feel like they're all kind of waiting for projects like this, which I've seen this sort of stuff happening in other places where they've changed the zoning that was originally planned for either biotech, and then they can't make use of that. So then they're switching gears.
And this is mainly Alexandria. Alexandria owns multiple pieces of land here that they had planned to build some sort of biotech, life science type things on there. And they've sold at least 2 projects off here recently. I think one over in Scripps Ranch, one in like Mira Mesa, Miramar-ish area, Sorrento Mesa, I think. And I think even one over in UTC. So they're basically selling off all the land they have here, and most of it's turning into housing.
Rezoned for housing. So
obviously we do need more housing. I don't think the people in the area were super excited about more housing, although if it's like townhomes, and I hope if they do build housing there, I'm hoping it's for sale housing so people can actually come in here and buy an affordable housing here in San Diego, or in the 56 corridor, because most of the houses they build over here are single family houses that start at like $2 million.
Right.
If you could build townhomes that start around, even $1 million, I think would be super helpful.
I'm not holding out hope, but I like that you are.
Even the townhomes that were our offices attached to were originally supposed to be for sale, and then the developer came in and bought them all up and then turned them into rentals. So these would have been great for sale.
Would have been great, right?
Probably would have been like 900, $1 million, maybe 1.1.
Yeah,
which is still very expensive, but at least
I was going to say
starter prices for the area, basically. So. And there was another project right down the street from here, right next to the Intuit campus, if you're familiar with that. There's 2 parcels of land there that was also meant for like office space called
Santa Fe Summit. Right.
So you can still see the sign
for
over
about
there.
10 years.
And that sign's been there forever. And they turned that zoning into housing, or have asked to turn it into housing as well.
Which is a smaller parcel than what we have at the Merge 56 project, but still townhouses are a possibility. Are
maybe
they
mixed use? I don't know.
Maybe mixed use.
Again, it hasn't been sold yet, so we don't know who's going to buy it. But maybe it's the same builder. Maybe it's 2 different builders. Maybe we get some retail space over there as well as some over here. But.
And, I know that we currently live in this community where this construction is sort of slated to happen, and everyone's really been looking forward to it. Maybe we should be thankful that we haven't really had the traffic increases yet. We haven't had all the additional cars coming in here. It's been a nice little quiet pocket where we are. And once we get all that stuff built,
it'll be a lot more.
It would be wild.
Although, would you have rather have had biotech buildings right here or housing?
I'm not biotech buildings.
No, I don't think that would have been super.
I wanted the original plans.
Even the boutique hotel, I was like, okay.
Right. How would that work? Really?
Although when you think about it, there are no hotels along the 56 except for the very beginning of like Carmel Valley.
You're right. You're right. Or down towards the 15 by Carmel Mountain.
Yeah,
Road.
but nobody wants to go to that hotel. No offense to the Rancho Penasquitos hotels over there.
There's a couple over there. No, not off PQ Boulevard. The ones in Carmel Mountain Ranch.
Oh, Carmel Mountain Ranch.
Carmel Mountain Ranch. Those are nice.
But the one over by like the 7-Eleven.
There's like a La Quinta Inn and a
I don't know if I would step foot in that. So, no offense to that hotel. So
I've never stayed there. So
big changes coming to the area along the 56 corridor. Let us know if you guys are happy about these changes or indifferent, or just you want something to be built there or nothing at all. So I guess time will tell. And once I find out who does buy the land, you guys will be the first to know.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if we had any questions on that before. Okay. Next up, we have, let's see, where was I? Here we go. If you live in North County, San Diego, especially near the Palomar Airport in Carlsbad, you may have heard that American Airlines has returned to that airline. And then there was a group that was trying to sue the airport for bringing these flights back to Carlsbad. Yes,
which is a smaller airport.
It's a very small airport, and these are smaller airplanes. They're not
smaller airplanes, limited routes. So you're not having the same sort of flight activity like you do at. But still, I'm sure
it's going right over houses.
Some of the neighbors were probably pretty upset there.
So they tried to sue them, and now the judge denies bid to halt American Airlines flights at Palomar Airport.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is the end of it or they're just going to continue to keep going. But as of now, the flights to Phoenix, I think they're only going to Phoenix right now.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing rumors that they might open it up to other locations.
Well, that would increase the flight traffic
yes,
then. And then you might be kind of upset. Now, that's also Palomar Airport is right there by a lot of like sort of Carlsbad tourist attractions.
Robertson Ranch.
Yeah, not just
Ranch,
but also visitors.
Legoland,
Legoland is right there. There's the outlets. There's lots of shopping in that area. It's a well-trafficked area.
We get airplane noise from Miramar over here.
Miramar, but not really from San Diego International. True. We're kind of lucky. Where I grew up in Delaware, I lived under the flight path of the Philadelphia airport, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucked. So
yeah, it's not great.
And once they're that close, the planes are so much lower to the ground. They're getting ready to land, or they've just taken off. So it's not like when you see the planes high up in the sky. I mean, these are close. They're loud.
Flying right over your head. Actually, where I grew up in Westchester, Pennsylvania, we actually had a very small airport, but there was like little prop planes that would fly over, which we actually kind of liked when we were kids.
Sound, right? Yeah, that's not like
putt.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, if you live up in Carlsbad, you're gonna have to deal with more flights, it sounds like. Okay, this is we don't really talk about music festivals too often on here, but we are giving away free 2 3-day passes to the Wonderfront Festival on our Instagram page. Just posted this video yesterday, so you have to like, follow, and tag a friend on the page there, and you can be entered into winning these passes. We're going to announce the winner next Wednesday at noon or around noon. So if you are interested in going to the Wonderfront Festival, now's your chance.
I mean, that's awesome. That's a ton of musicians, a ton of bands that are playing, and that's a couple $100 for the full 3-day passes.
Like $500.
I'm not sure if
how much it is, but
I actually hadn't looked at all
it's a
3.
Festival. Can't be that cheap, right?
Exactly. So that would be really great for whoever wins
that. Probably. I don't know. So if you're interested, go to our Instagram page called North County SD, and you can enter for a chance to win.
And that takes place downtown, sort of Seaport Village area. At least that's where they had it this year. I don't know.
Embarcadero, they call it.
The Embarcadero. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of near Seaport Village, kind of near the airport.
It's the whole, that whole sort of
peninsula, which can be a little challenging to get in and out of.
Exactly. So maybe bring your patience.
Ubering.
Yes.
And then
don't worry about parking. Yeah.
So, but it is a cool location. So.
Yeah.
Okay, this was just announced. I just saw this today.
Yeah.
Breaking news. San Diego cuts trash pickups price after residents balk at the price. Here's what it could now cost. So
the people have spoken.
And this is just for the city of San Diego. Because a lot of people that live in North County or a city that's not San Diego didn't even know about this. Right. So for the last 106 years, trash pickup has been free, or at least paid through your property taxes. No additional fee was on top of that. In 2022, there was a Measure B that somehow voters voted for.
Nobody reads those. I have to assume.
I don't think anybody knew what they were voting for,
closely,
because I'm not sure who would vote to add another fee to our monthly bills that we have lots of these days. So instead of free, it was going to go to $53 per month. And now, after a lot of protests from people, they have reduced that down to $47.50 or something.
Doesn't sound like a huge savings to me, though.
It does not sound like a lot. But, and then if you get the smaller bins, it's only like $36, I think it is. Yeah. But by 2027, those numbers will go up probably by like 10%, supposedly.
Yes.
But you can explain this.
No. Oh, okay. So there will be a sort of referendum. There is still time to
a protest card.
Reverse this. A protest card. Yeah. This is coming in the mail. In the mail to residents of the city of San Diego.
Read.
Please do.
So please read it.
If you respond, if they get at least 50%.
50% have to respond.
Have to respond, as in send back this protest card with your options selected that you are not in favor of the additional fee. Then they will vote against it and get rid of it, right?
When I get mine in the mail, I will bring it in, show it on video,
show it to everyone.
What it looks like, so you can find the protest card. If you do not wish to pay for additional,
I don't know why it would be 50%. I hope 100% of people send that stinking card back in.
We might be lucky if 25%.
Oh man, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. I think if you heard that Netflix was going to go up unless you responded to a mail, then everyone would respond. But for some reason, people will not respond to this trash thing.
True.
I'm holding out hope that people will respond.
Yeah.
And we will not have to pay an
So this is ongoing. So nothing's
month.
finished here yet, but
so you should get that
still have a chance to stop
in the next 30 to 45 days. So keep an eye out in your
Mm-hmm.
mailboxes if you live in the city of San Diego and live in a single family home. If you're in a condo or townhome or whatever,
it's probably already rolled into your.
No, I think they actually have a bill, or it's paid in your HOA.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Gotcha. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And let us know if you have any questions about trash, because we really enjoy talking about trash. So
it's been a hot topic here.
It gets a lot of people fired up. That's for sure. Okay. Okay. Now we'll get into the housing market stuff. I'm not sure if you've heard anything going on in the global economy lately, but there's ads all over this thing. So why China tariffs are bad news for the housing market? I'm sure everyone kind of knows. It's usually not good news.
I would
if we're going to have tariffs for as far as housing prices go. So this is from a few different reports, if I can find it here. So this is the Home Builders Association estimates that $204 billion worth of goods were used in construction of both new multifamily and single family housing last year. 14 billion of those goods were imported from outside the United States. Mm-hmm. That means that about 7% of all goods used in new residential construction originated from a foreign country. 7% is actually not as much as I thought it would be. But obviously, if it's going to have a tariff on that 7%, it's going to make things more expensive.
Right.
According to the association estimates, a new single-family home includes $174 worth of building materials, including $12,000 of imported materials. Mm-hmm. So, as you can imagine, if you make things more expensive, it's going to cost you more expensive.
So that's currently they're saying that's how much. That's not okay. So $12,000 of imported materials,
which might not sound like a lot to people that live in San Diego.
No, but with an increase though, you could be looking at.
It's just going to make everything more expensive.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that could be the difference between something that's affordable and something that's totally
unaffordable.
Out of your league.
Yes, something you cannot afford.
Dream ruiner.
And then this is from Realtor.com. What this signals for U.S. consumers is that China may be unwilling to negotiate over tariffs. Thus, the proposed duties have a higher likelihood of sticking around. And sometimes these prices won't be baked in until later down the road, too.
Yeah.
Because everyone's kind of hoping that these tariffs will be a temporary negotiating tactic.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into in a second. But time will tell. And I think the biggest, at least from today's news, which we'll get into in a second, seems like they're mostly focused on China versus other countries.
As of this morning.
Let's see if I can
the president has given
a
bit of a reprieve, right?
Yes, because we planned this video obviously before today, and then this came up this morning. S&P soars 7% after Trump pauses some of his
tariffs. Please pause the tariffs.
This literally just came out, so I didn't really get a chance to dive deep into this article.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the stock market went up, but they're going to put pause for 90 days on every country that did not
retaliate
against
so
the US for the
Canada
tariffs.
and Mexico still have, I believe, a 10%.
Yes.
And they are our closest trade allies, I would say. And then China has.
I think I read something that was like some kind of
he's
ridiculous,
in 125%. I want to say
tariff. So
yeah.
So we'll see. Stock market really took a tumble this week, and I've actually had clients trying to buy houses in the last 7 days.
Interesting point here,
that work for a tech company, and they're going to use a lot of their funds that were coming from the stock market,
sales,
the company they work for, and that company, tumbled like everybody else this week. So we're unsure if he's going to be able to move forward or not, but time will tell. We'll see how the stock market rebounds the rest of the week, if it rebounds at all, or is this kind of the most we're going to see?
These are very real issues,
so it's
and
not just
it's
not just building materials getting more expensive, because we don't actually have a ton of new construction in San Diego, so it might not affect it as much. We have the north end and San Marcos and like Oceanside and then down south, but San Diego proper. New construction.
But what about home upgrades or renovations? I mean, you're still going to need, appliances and materials, lighting, all of that stuff. I mean, you're going to just see a price increase. And
this is true. And then this could also prevent some builders from building too, or they're going to hold off until the tariff stuff hopefully gets
altered in
under
some
control,
way. Yeah.
And then maybe they'll delay it too. And then if home building gets delayed, that could increase the prices of houses here for sale, which could be good for sellers, I guess. Maybe not so good for buyers.
More difficult for buyers. Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts on this one, and we're not entirely sure how it's going to play out. But
I like that you had a real world you were able to add an example that you have actually seen in real time. That's wild. Just in this last week.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, that you never thought it would like affect someone that much, but when your stock goes down
100%,
some of these stocks are going down 20 to 25%.
Yeah.
Like overnight almost.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's definitely going to be a problem. And if you're trying to list a house in this time frame too, it might not be the worst idea to wait a week or two.
Just to see what happens
to see
here.
how it plays out. This could get drawn out for weeks or months, or maybe this gets resolved in the next week. I don't know.
I don't have a crystal ball with this, and I could not have predicted a lot of this stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess so. When did he announce it was late last week, and now he changed his tune a little bit as of Wednesday the 9th.
Right.
So I have a feeling the U.S.-China one's going to go on for a little bit longer or a while longer, but I think that's hopefully this 90-day pause turns into something more permanent for everybody. But we'll see. Not trying to be the political part of this.
No, and also not trying to sound like
how it affects the house
doom and gloom too. Yeah. So yeah.
Thought that was pretty interesting. And then as far as with all this uncertainty, you would expect mortgage rates to go down. Mm-hmm. And they did for a second.
A little downtick.
But then just like yesterday and today, mortgage rates surged the highest level since February. So actually had a client lock in a rate late last week and they got a great rate. Mm-hmm. But then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday came around and rates just surged back up.
Yep.
So you would think with all this uncertainty that they would actually come down, but I think the volatility is what made them go back up because they're not really sure which way to go at this point.
Right.
So if you're trying to lock in a mortgage rate right now, hopefully you did it like 3 days ago. So because they did come down a good chunk at the end of last week and then started to creep back up again this week. So we shall see. So right now, mortgage rates, 30-year jumbos, it went up 20 basis points. So 30-year jumbo, 7.10. They were at 6.37.
We were below 7, yeah.
And now a 30-year fixed, 7%. So we were hovering right around 6.5. I think I've seen it almost getting into the 5s for a second. Mm-hmm. And now we're back up to 7%.
5s would be so great.
People really like 5s, I think. It's a great number. And,
it's a great
people
number.
Are excited to get back to that number. Yeah. And if you do, ARMs, you could be at 6.4%. The VA loans, I've seen VA loans under 6%. So, but now that here it's saying 6.4.
Yeah.
So super fun for interest rates.
Can you give me some good? So you got some good news to end on a strong note.
We do have mortgage rate stats. I love stats. Okay, so this is the North County neighborhoods here. So can you guys see this on the screen here? Let me make sure you can see it. I guess you can see it. Okay. So this is the March stats for 2025. They just came out yesterday. So I always like to see which direction things are going. Mm-hmm. A lot of them went up, like Carmel Valley is up again. Penasquitos was up. All the kind of like the most popular neighborhoods are typically up. But then if you go into some of the other neighborhoods, like there's a few negative ones. Let's see. Scripps Ranch actually dropped by less than a point, not a huge one.
Okay.
But Poway down 13.6%.
Wow.
Which is a bigger number than I was expecting.
Very interesting.
I think the only other one, Bonsall, was up 15%. Let's see. Oh, Encinitas says down 21%, but Encinitas is always skewed by one super expensive property. Right. So I'm not usually as worried about that one.
I'm kind of surprised to hear that, actually.
Poway was down 13%, and then Escondido East down 5.8%. Oh, we'll come back. There you go. Let's see. Escondido East down 5.8%. But everybody else was pretty much up. Who had the biggest increases here? Valley Center up 11%. Up in Valley Center.
Wow.
Solana Beach up 13%. That's a big one.
Areas with a little more space.
And Rancho Santa Fe down 17%. Ooh. Which again kind of gets skewed by a big sale or not so big sales sometimes too. But Del Mar is up 35%. Let's see. Del Sur. Where's Del Sur and Forest Ranch? Do I not even have it on here? Oh, Ranch Bernardo West is Del Sur Forest Ranch. Up 11%.
Up 11%, right.
But then if you look in the townhomes over here, 19% down for townhomes in Forest. I actually noticed that in Del Sur because we were going to have a listing come up in Forest. And the townhomes over there have come down quite a bit in price for some reason. I don't know why, because it's still it's
a great, desirable location.
Yeah, you can walk to the shopping centers and stuff over there, some of the schools. So if you're looking for a somewhat attractive deal on townhomes, I would check out Forest Ranch because there's a few for sale for under $900,000 for 3-bedroom townhomes.
That's amazing.
Which I find to be actually pretty good value.
Yeah.
In this market.
I would too.
So just keep an eye on that. So that's kind of the market update for March 2025. I'm going to do one on like the year-to-date market here soon. So look out for that one. I'll probably put it on Instagram and YouTube. So make sure you tune in. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We kind of went through that pretty quickly, but always happy to answer any questions you guys might have. Let's see. What's
no, they won't.
No, they won't.
I'm not sure what that was in.
Probably
response to
something about the tariffs. Probably.
Maybe.
I'm not sure what time was that. 12:39.
Yeah.
Or the home prices. I don't know. Let us know if you actually what no you won't meant. So
what that's in reference to.
What else do we have? Anything coming up here in San Diego that we should...
I wanted to talk about this Wild Health Club.
Oh yeah, we can bring that up.
I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. In Encinitas, it's like some boutique health club that's almost like a country club membership, but for health care type stuff, spa care. And
it's in Cardiff.
It's in Cardiff. There's one also in Little Italy as well. I believe it. What did I say? $100,000 to get in, and then it's about $1,000 a month to be a member. And it's like they do, massage, facials, the sauna, the cryo dip, the ice bath, and they've got one of the only hyperbaric oxygen chambers in San Diego here, I guess, which is what they use at Manchester United, like the football team.
I remember Terrell Owens did that one.
Again, right? So they've got this here. So for the very low price of $1,000 a month, you can go and use that oxygen chamber and live to be 150 or something. I don't know.
So I feel like you're trying to get a membership to it now.
Would you? Yeah, right. You want to give me some type of sponsorship? I'll go in and tell you what all of this stuff is like.
Actually, that is in Cardiff. Yeah, she's already talking about.
Yes. How you
or something?
It's live, like LIVV. LIVV.
Okay.
So is it live or live? I'm not sure. It sounds pretty interesting. They already have some NFL players that came in and did a whole sort of promotion thing where they played a day of golf at the Omni La Costa, and then they came in and had all these treatments done and stuff. So it sounds pretty wild, but I guess if you take your health that seriously, that's who they're really pushing it towards, who they're selling it towards. And I guess Encinitas, Cardiff area might be the right market for that.
Yeah. You got to be able to afford that too.
You have to be able to afford that. I believe that's what I read, that it was $100,000 fee up front and then $1,000 a month. So, interesting.
Not the cheapest.
No, it's not. Maybe a lot of like retired professional athletes will make use of that, or I don't know, other clients that honestly I feel like it's like you want to live forever.
So this guy's the title of your video. So will the tariffs crash the housing market?
Okay.
No, I mean I think if they went on for a very long period of time, it could definitely affect the housing market. And to say it would not crash, I wouldn't say impossible, but as long as it gets resolved in hopefully a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Things will bounce back, hopefully, just like the stock market is doing.
Right, exactly.
Today. So
I appreciate you holding us to that question, though, for the title, bringing it, circling back around. We
like to focus on that question the most when we have a title for it, so I appreciate it. Really expensive, says Larissa Mitchell.
It is crazy expensive.
Will you be getting a memberip to this gym, Larissa? Because
I mean, I guess you think of it like a country club.
You could be her guest.
If you want to bring me as your guest. I would try it out. Hook me up to the IV. Go for it. Give me all the vitamins. Yeah. Extra energy.
Sounds great.
Youthful glow. I'm ready for it.
All right. I think that is our episode for the week. So hopefully you guys found it helpful. Larissa says no. Okay.
That's fine.
We thought so. It's very expensive. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. And if you guys have any real estate related questions, feel free to put it in the chat or in the comments, or just reach out to us directly. We're real estate agents.
Yes.
We're trying to do this every Wednesday at 12 o'clock or 12:15. We did it this week because I was late. We won't be here next week because it's spring break. So we'll be out, but we will return the following week with lots of information about San Diego.
Yeah. I'm going to the Padres game next week. So I'll let you know about all the new food that they have at Petco Park that people have been buzzing about.
So I'll let you know how long I waited.
How long the lines are.
So it's great. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Catch us next time.
Bye.